Yuli Gurriel, a World Series champ, is the first player available in the free agent market. Welcome back to the Thursday Hot Stove. Rec and I are going to try to find homes for some of these items on the shelves. What for you would be the best fit for Yuli Gurriel?
Yuli Gurriel, a guy who hits for a good average, not a ton of power, obviously. He's getting a little bit older, so I'm looking for a place where he could potentially DH more so than probably play first base. To me, I think there's a fit in Milwaukee. I like what they do as far as offensively. It's not a ton of guys that, they don't have anybody with a 900 OPS, but they have a lot of guys that are just that 700 to 800 type OPS guy, mid-range, a high average guy, doesn't strike out much. I think he would fit well into what they have there, especially because they had such prolific power last year. Look, they've made a couple of changes, but I like that fit. I mean, he could be kind of that backup, if you will, to Rowdy Tellez at first base and then DH at times, and I think he fits well.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm going to kind of follow the bouncing ball and the generous checkbook. The San Diego Padres are spending money like their hair's on fire. They were in the Jose Abreu sweepstakes at one point. I know that A.J. Preller has a particular fondness for international players. And Gurriel's won in the past. He's a winner. He could be a nice finishing piece on a Padres roster that is already really, really good. That would give him the flexibility to put Jay Cronenworth back at second. There's a lot of infielders they're collecting, but file that as a good problem to have, I guess.
Always.
I'll put him in San Diego. How about back into the aisles for the next player whose services are available? 15-year vet. A multiple All-Star, Evan Longoria, whose time expired in San Francisco. He has stated a desire, obviously, at this stage of his career to play for a winner, a contender. Where for Longo?
To me, it's the Dodgers. I think they lost Justin Turner. They have some young guys that they're looking to get some looks, particularly at third base, of course, but I really like the leadership he brings. I know he lives in Arizona. He lives in Scottsdale with his family. It'd be great for him to stay there for spring training and obviously just go 5-hour drive on the I-10 to L.A. to play his season. I just think it's a great fit for both him and the team.
That's a really good conclusion for him. I would say, and you hit on the Arizona component, he lives in Scottsdale. The Diamondbacks, at least online, it looks like there are people writing about how the Diamondbacks are interested. They're not a team that's necessarily ready to compete for a World Series title yet, so I'm not sure how appealing that would be to Longo. Also familiar to him, going back to Tampa Bay. Like, they have a lot of players at that position that they could plug in, including Isaac Paredes, who they love, and Yandy Diaz, who's a platoon guy. But what about him going back there and kind of cementing his legacy?
That was one of the ideas when I was thinking about Longoria, where he could go. Was the Rays kind of popped in my head, and there's a fit there. But again, I kind of went with the West Coast team just because of the location in Arizona. But I think there's a fit there. I think that there's a way for him to go back there and certainly get a nice amount of playing time and finish his career where he started it and really became kind of Mr. Ray, Devil Ray, for a long, long time.